Can you imagine what your life would look like if you had millions of dollars to your name, and global power in your hands? Well, for these women, that's not a fantasy. It's real life. From presidential palaces to oil boardrooms, from fashion runways to billion-dollar boardrooms, there are black women across Africa who don't just stand beside power, they are power. These aren't just wives. These are architects of influence, builders of legacy, commanders of empires. These are the 10 most powerful black wives in Africa. And number 1? She just might be richer than her own prime minister husband. Let's begin. 10. Oluremi Tinubu, Nigeria. She doesn't shout. She doesn't pose. But in the quiet corners of Nigeria's most powerful institutions, her name commands attention. Oluremi Tinubu, wife of Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, isn't new to politics. She's been in the game for over 20 years. Long before she became First Lady of Nigeria, she served as a 3-term senator representing Lagos Central. She introduced bills, chaired key committees, and led major conversations about education and women's rights. And before that, she was the First Lady of Lagos State, using her position to build the New Era Foundation, an initiative that became her silent machine for grassroots loyalty and soft political power. She is the only First Lady in Nigerian history who has also served as a sitting senator. Her tone is measured. Her actions are calculated. While others perform, she prepares. Oluremi Tinubu doesn't borrow power. She builds it. 9. Princess Fifi Ajindu, Nigeria. Royal blood. New York education. Oil money. Art. And the kind of glamour that turns every appearance into an event. Princess Fifi Ajindu is the granddaughter of King James Ekpoasi of Ibiono Ibom in Nigeria. But she didn't just rest on her royal lineage. She went to New York's Pratt Institute and became the first black African woman to graduate in architecture. Then she came back to Nigeria and built a business empire. Her company, Starcrest Group, deals in oil, gas, construction, and project management. Through it, she built more than structures, she built access. She also launched the African Arts and Fashion Initiative, supporting emerging talent across the continent. Fifi doesn't ask for power. She walks in rooms where it's already been waiting for her. Her husband is a businessman, but she is the strategist. The network. The face. The one they remember. 8. Denise Nyakaru Tshisekedi, DR Congo. In a country torn by conflict, where leadership changes carry weight and risk, Denise Nyakaru Tshisekedi moves with discipline. The First Lady of the Democratic Republic of Congo has never needed to perform for the press. Instead, she launched the Denise Nya Foundation and built Excellencia, a scholarship program that sends Congolese students abroad. Many are now studying in Paris, Rabat, New York. She doesn't grant interviews. She doesn't chase headlines. But ministers listen when she speaks. Diplomats lean in. Inside Congo, both the ruling party and opposition respect her. Outside, she's building a quiet reputation as a new face of African diplomacy. Her influence doesn't come from a title. It comes from knowing exactly where to stand, when no one else sees the moment coming. 7. Zari Hassan, Uganda/South Africa. Tabloid queen turned mogul. Zari Hassan is the definition of flipping the script. She first entered public attention through her marriage to Ivan Semwenga, a wealthy Ugandan businessman, and later through her high-profile relationship with Tanzanian singer Diamond Platnumz. But Zari didn't let those relationships define her. When Ivan passed away, she took control of Brooklyn City College in South Africa, an educational institution with multiple campuses. She turned her massive social media following into monetized influence. Cosmetics, fashion, endorsements, appearances. She didn't post for likes. She posted for leverage. Today, Zari sits at the center of business, entertainment, and education across East and Southern Africa. The breakup headlines are old. The brand is thriving. And Zari Hassan? She is no longer just a wife or an ex, she is the empire. 6. Regina Daniels, Nigeria. From Nollywood child star to power player wife, Regina Daniels has rewritten the rulebook. She married billionaire lawyer and politician Ned Nwoko, nearly 4 decades her senior, and the world rushed to call her a trophy. But Regina had a plan. She used the visibility to relaunch herself into magazines, endorsements, political campaigns. When Ned ran for Senate and won, Regina was right there on stage, on posters, at rallies. Now, she's the face of a political brand that merges youth, glamour, and old-school influence. She launched her own foundation, focused on women and children. Her media posts now feature legislative events, charity projects, and youth empowerment, not just red carpets. Regina Daniels isn't playing child star anymore. She's playing chess. And she's not waiting to be given a crown. She's already wearing it. 5. Bola Shagaya, Nigeria. You may not have seen her on Instagram. You may not know what she looks like. But you've probably paid for something she profits from. Bola Shagaya is one of the richest women in Nigeria. A former employee of the central bank, she entered the oil business in the 1980s, when it was almost unheard of for women. Her company, Practoil Limited, became one of the largest importers and distributors of base oil in Nigeria. She later expanded into real estate, photography, and banking. Her reach includes luxurious properties in Abuja, Lagos, and beyond. She sat on the board of Unity Bank. She imported the Konica photo brand to West Africa. And behind the scenes, she was a close confidant of former First Lady Patience Jonathan. Her marriage connected her to northern Nigerian elite. But her fortune? That's all hers. Quiet power. Unshakable wealth. Zero noise. 4. Zainab Suma Jama, Gambia. Some women fall when their husbands fall. Others rise in the aftermath. Zainab Suma Jama was married to Yahya Jammeh, the longtime dictator of the Gambia. During his brutal reign, she fronted charity work and global outreach through Operation Save the Children. But that was only part of the story. The foundation became a gateway to diplomatic meetings, elite funding circles, and international travel. After the 2017 elections forced Yahya out and into exile, many assumed Zainab would disappear. She didn't. She retained her money, her allies, and her access. Today, she still moves in and out of West African summits. Still meets quietly with former officials. Her name still opens doors. Zainab didn't just survive dictatorship. She learned to walk out of the fire, and still hold the flame. 3. Tshepo Motsepe, South Africa. She was born into power. But that doesn't mean she didn't earn it. Tshepo Motsepe, First Lady of South Africa, is the sister of billionaire Patrice Motsepe. Her family's name alone commands attention in every boardroom from Johannesburg to Geneva. But Tshepo added her own credentials: Harvard-trained medical doctor, public health advocate, and champion for early childhood development. As wife to President Cyril Ramaphosa, she brings not only elegance but credibility. She doesn't chase attention. She commands respect. Whether she's working with the Motsepe Foundation or global health organizations, Her voice shapes real policy. Quietly. Effectively. Globally. She doesn't carry her husband's power. She walks beside it, arm in arm with capital, legacy, and precision. 2. Sylvia Bongo Ondimba, Gabon. They called her Madam President. And they weren't wrong. Sylvia Bongo Ondimba, former First Lady of Gabon, wasn't just the president's wife. She was the architect of a shadow presidency. Through her foundation, she influenced education, social policy, and even national budgets. After her husband, President Ali Bongo, suffered a stroke in 2018, Sylvia took over public functions. She kept the machine moving. Insiders say ministers had to go through her to reach the president. When a military coup ended Ali Bongo's presidency in 2023, Sylvia was arrested before him. Why? Because even the military knew she was the real strategist. She wasn't decoration. She was direction. 1. Salwa Idrissaya Kanak, Morocco. Now we reach the summit. And her name is Salwa Idrissaya Kanak. Wife to Moroccan Prime Minister Aziza Kanak, Salwa isn't just wealthy, she's dominant. She owns Morocco Mall, the largest in North Africa. Through her company, Axel Group, she brought brands like Zara, Gap, and Pull & Bear to Morocco. Her empire spans fashion, real estate, media, and investment. She is the reason luxury brands knock on Morocco's door. Not for attention, but for approval. Her fortune is separate from her husband's. And yet together, they represent one of Africa's most powerful couples. But don't get it twisted, if you ask the boardroom who holds the upper hand, most would point to her. Salwa Idrissaya Kanak doesn't follow the money. She is the money. These women aren't just standing beside powerful men. They are CEOs, strategists, senators, survivors, gatekeepers to empires. And most importantly, they are the power the world didn't expect. But this isn't the end of the story. There's another level. The ones who stand behind pulpits. The ones who pray, preach, and pull the strings from behind the curtain. Coming up next, the most powerful black pastors' wives in the world. And trust me, you won't believe who's on that list. Subscribe. Because power wears many faces, and these women wear it best.